Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, and I could not be more happy to continue the conversation about Bonanza Flat with some people who really care about it quite a little bit, and they've proven it with both their actions and, of course, their wallet as well. And I'm thrilled to have Joel Clark here. He's the owner and CEO of Kodiak Cakes. Welcome.
Good to be here. With
him is Allison Brown, who's the PR manager for the company. And then we have Wendy Fisher, who's the executive director of Utah Open Lands. Welcome. It's great to have you guys here.
Great to be here.
It's good to be here.
You're here for the right reasons, and that's something that I have to say about Joel. I've known right from the very first time you were on the program, which has been years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a few years now.
It was just before you guys went to Shark Tank, I think, as I recall.
That's right. Yeah.
And you're a small company starting out here, and with great ideas, great product, and we enjoyed having you then, and we sure enjoyed watching your growth. It's been amazing.
Oh yeah, that Shark Tank thing actually helped us a ton. In fact, we had just moved to Park City at that time.
That's right.
And so since that time, Kodiak Cakes, fortunately, has just kind of blossomed, and we've really grown a lot. And so, yeah, we're kind of in a position to do some good, and so we're excited to kind of be a part of this Bonanza Flat project.
Oh, we think that's great. That's kind of what we were hoping all along. We've had, I think we now have the record actually for the number of small companies that have come on a morning show and then made it to Shark Tank. So we're feeling real good about that. Yeah,
that is totally cool.
And
there's good luck here. There's good luck here.
I like to think there's some good mojo in the studio. It's worked, and we're thrilled it worked for you guys. That's, I mean, it's just been amazing. I've watched you as you've moved buildings, and then you're like, well, we've grown out this space. Now what are we going to do? And you move across the street, and maybe that one's going to be too small soon too.
We're outgrowing that really fast. We got up here, I think we had 5 people.
Wow.
And so now we're at 33. So that's been in the last, I guess, 2.5 years.
That's amazing.
That we've grown that fast. So it's been really cool to be a part of that.
Not a shock, because I got to tell you, I'm a big fan.
Oh, good.
Kodiak Cakes.
That's good to hear.
You know, I got to enjoy them again. You guys were over at Skull Candy on Friday doing more with this awareness of Bonanza Flat, and I got to partake again, which was awesome as always. And I'm a big fan of the cereal. That's my favorite.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Just take the bowl with you wherever you go.
On the go. Yeah.
Talk to me about what it's like to be able to be in a position, as you said, that you're in, where you now can start being starting to be very philanthropic. Yeah. Talk about that.
Well, it's always been something that we've wanted to do, but when you're small, it's hard to really develop a cause, like a social cause, and to do a whole lot. So we always, I mean, from the beginning, we've donated a portion of our sales to like grizzly bear and wildlife conservation efforts, and some of those efforts are actually land conservation for habitat preservation. And so the bigger we've gotten, the more we've continued to think about what can we do, how can we give back, and what are some causes that we can support. And so one of our brand pillars is to protect local nature. And so we're really looking right now. We're looking for projects and initiatives that are local to us. And so as we've grown, one of the things that we've really done as a business and as a brand is we're all about active lifestyle and enjoying the outdoors. And so we have a room full of mountain bikes, for example. So we're always out on the trails. We're biking, we're hiking, and so we've been looking for projects to support like some of the local initiatives. So when we heard about this Bonanza Flats idea, this just was a huge project that we wanted to get behind.
That's great.
And it just made a lot of sense for our brand. We want to be involved in conserving local land so that we can be out enjoying the trails.
Well, it makes sense. You know, if you're going to work hard, you should play hard right where you're working.
Yeah.
In a place like this, you can do that.
I know, and it's amazing.
That's really what makes Bonanza Flat special. And we should kind of turn our attention for a moment down to Utah Open Land. Talk about why this particular area is important. I mean, I have my own memories of it, some good, some not so, but it's a wonderful place.
Yeah. I think the thing about Bonanza Flat is that people don't necessarily realize how much they use it. And we're not just talking about going to the Wasatch Crest Trail or Blood's Lake. It actually provides 50% of the drinking water for the Wasatch Front. And it's obviously part of the watershed for the Provo River, Deer Creek Reservoir. So when you look at a landscape that has a monumental impact on a huge population, not just Park City, and what would happen with the impacts if that got developed, Wasatch County, the Heber area, but the entire Salt Lake Valley and the Wasatch Front. And I think that's why we've seen so many folks interested in contributing to it and getting involved. We started with a $13 million gap. And it's
Wow.
because of companies like Kodiak Cakes coming out. I mean, I think you guys approached us like a month ago saying, what can we do? That we are raising awareness, that we are also ensuring that we've closed that gap
Yeah, where
to
are we at?
$2.6 million.
Wow, so
From
we're so
13
close.
million to 2.6. I mean, and it doesn't happen without this kind of corporate responsibility,
Right.
which from my perspective, that is a great part of this Saving Bonanza Flat story. It really is.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you mentioned the watershed. To put in perspective so people understand, you mentioned some of the places it affects, but let's be very clear on this. That water goes all the way down to Deer Creek. It comes down Provo Canyon and then makes the turn and goes all the way down to Salt Lake County. People don't get it, that the water that we're drinking in Salt Lake City comes from this area. So if you're not interested, it's because you don't understand.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, do you want clean drinking water? When
Right.
you look at the statistics of what happens when your water is impaired, it's not a good, pretty sight.
It's not like we have a lot of it to go around anyway.
No.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we had a good winter, but that doesn't mean a lot.
Right,
We've
well-
had lots of bad ones.
Yeah, and that's why actually we've had so many dam projects, you know, like the
Yeah.
Bureau of Reclamation. And one of the most recent contributions we just got last week, $150,000 from the Utah Mitigation Commission. And that's because part of their goal is when we destroy some of our natural environments, they have to actually take an active role in replacing it. And Bonanza Flats is what they decided to give to.
Well, because it's kind of irreplaceable, right?
Exactly.
We only have so much. This is the thing I think is substantially important, is that there's only so much mountain, and that's where all the snow is. That's where all of our water is. If we don't, and if we just build up the side of it, we can, but we'll have nowhere for the snow to go.
Right.
I mean, really.
And we're facing so many threats. I mean, everybody understands climate change is going to take a
Yeah.
toll on whether or not we have storage facilities for the snow.
That's right.
This is one of those places. And you know, you put heated driveways up there, you start developing that area, and you have lost a significant storage for snow that is critical to our water supply. Not to mention, as Joel pointed out, the active recreational lifestyle. Bonanza Flat is replete with that and more.
Well, Allison has been very involved in this right out of the gate. I know that this was something that was true to your heart and why you jumped in. Talk about that for a bit.
Absolutely. So I just moved here about a year ago, and going up to Guardsman Pass and seeing that beautiful land is unbelievable to me. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. And I think us getting involved in it at Kodiak Cakes was so important because it's in our backyard. We can drive up there on our lunch breaks. We can go out there after work. It's amazing that it's right there, and we just need to do our part to help protect it so we can keep using it.
My favorite animal sightings have all happened back there. My first porcupine sighting was out there. Yeah, I was having a little lunch. I was just sitting on top of the mountain. No, I'm not joking. I'm like, we can go eat lunch up there. And, you know, got off-road a little bit and got up to the top and sat down and when do you expect to see a porcupine? It just, you know,
Yeah,
I know you should, but that's the thing. We don't have a lot of that left. I mean, that's the whole point. And just kind of came up right alongside me while I was eating, and I got to be honest, it was a moment of like, wow, this is great and scary all at once.
That's really cool.
It was so much fun to have that, you know, to have that experience, and everything from moose and deer and everything else. A couple of foxes I've seen up there. That is the place where we have not messed it up.
I totally agree. It's one of these, it's like a gem. I mean, there are a few like gem pieces of land, and that is absolutely one of them. I mean, this is a place that I would just think it would be such a shame to see it get developed.
Right.
I mean, it's, you know, I'm like you, I've spent a lot of time up there. I've mountain biked up there, I've hiked, and I love driving through there. Guardsman's Pass is a gorgeous place, and I just really, really believe that it's an area that needs to be saved and it needs to be preserved. And so, you know, when we started talking about Bonanza Flats, we were like, man, this is a great opportunity for us to get involved, and that's what it takes. It takes businesses like ours and people to, you know, contribute. I mean, it's not like we're showing up to the table with $2.6 million. I wish we were.
Right. If you were bigger, you
know,
would. But there's the thing. You're throwing. Let's throw down the gauntlet a little bit, Joel.
Yeah.
I think we can do this, and I think it's fair. A small company like Kodiak Cakes willing to put their money where their mouth is and make sure that something happens. Okay, lots of great big businesses here in Park City and the surrounding area and Salt Lake. It's time to do the same.
Yeah.
There's just really, I'm doing it on your behalf, but frankly, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
and it's going to take that to fill this gap. Now, you guys have come up with a pretty good idea on how to actuate that, and that's with this 5K. So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so we're aligning with the Park City Trail Series, and they do a series of races. It's at Round Valley, right?
Yes.
Isn't the name? Yeah, at Round Valley, and we sponsored them last year. They're really cool races, and so we thought this would be a cool way to kind of get involved, and so we partnered up with them, and we pledged $10,000 towards Bonanza Flat. And so anyone who signs up for the race,
Right.
will match their race fees
That's
and
great.
donate. So those are kind
That's
of
how we make sure other people get involved right there.
Yeah.
Because you're going to donate $10,000 anyway, but you want to make sure other people get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
We want to get everyone involved. It's also, part of our mission is to encourage and inspire active lifestyle. So for us, we want to be out on the trails. We want to be running and hiking, and so it helps get people out and get people involved, and so that's part of our mission too. So that's one of the reasons we chose this event to partner with.
I feel like Allison has something to add here.
Well, I can speak a little bit more to the
Yeah.
different ways that we're helping getting other businesses involved by encouraging people to donate product to the swag bags or raffle at the
Right.
race. Just spreading the word that even if you aren't a runner and you don't want to come out and run in the 5K, still just donate to Bonanza Flats.
Yeah.
Still do something, do your part to become involved. We're encouraging other businesses to have booths at the race, and if they pay an entry fee to have a booth at the finish line, that all of that money goes directly back to Bonanza Flats. So that's a really great deal for everyone. So that's been amazing. And just seeing the other companies so far that have gotten involved, like Skull Candy, Pro Bar, Dose Coffee, it's been amazing just to see all the involvement just from us reaching out to random businesses that are all local here.
Well, I want to thank you guys for what you're doing. Anything to add before I take the break here?
The one thing I would say is first and foremost, thanks to Kodiak Cakes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is important, as you said, to raise the bar. And I wanted to mention one other thing, because
Yes,
we got to
of
get
course.
you out there. Because Bonanza Flat is also home to the flammulated owl. It's
haven't seen that yet.
It's a species of greatest concern
Wow.
that in its adult form is no bigger than about this.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to get you out there because we're going to save this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah,
definitely,
absolutely.
I'm a birder,
Totally.
so we're going to
Okay.
definitely go out and hunt. I want to
Awesome.
go and hunt one down to the camera right now.
All
I can
right.
hardly wait.
Okay,
Get
we're
some
gonna do it.
photographs of that for
Good.
sure. I want to thank you guys so very much for being here.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank
tremendous
you.
what you're doing. And Joel, the continued success of
Oh,
Kodiak Cakes
appreciate that. Thank
makes
you
us
so
all
much.
very happy here on the program.
No,
so
thank you.
congratulations for that. And my best wishes as you guys continue this effort to save Bonanza Flat. And of course, that's really comes down to you here watching the show. If you own a business, well, then you should be part of this, certainly. And if you're not one of those people, then certainly you should be involved in either running in the 5K or in some way giving your time or your money to the effort. We have a lot more coming up here on the Mountain Morning Show as we wrap up this hour and this day right after these messages.